Progressive Image Loading. Course CIT 230BYUI by Douglas EU. So today I will be talking about this topic about progressive image loading. Probably you have seen this effect whenever we are downloading web pages, especially whenever it's related to mobile devices. So what is progressive image loading? Images are the largest assets on web pages and they account for 2/3 of the bytes. Image optimization and choosing the right image format is paramount. In addition, some sites are also using small thumbnails as placeholders while the final image hasn't loaded yet. This technique is also called blower up. It basically tries to improve users' perceived performance while also saving data traffic when combined with lazy loading. There are other alternatives to this approach. One of them consists of using a single JPEG image, tweaking its scan script to quickly render an initial pixelated version of the image and progressively load the final image in several scans. So basically this is the effect that most of the times we look whenever we are downloading pages, but this is something that we can create. It's the process of loading of low quality image to serve as a placeholder to its high quality counterpart. This process is useful for image heavy or infinite scroll pages. Think on Facebook or Instagram because low quality placeholders provide the following. Reduce time to see imagery on page. A low quality image will be significantly smaller in file size and will thereafter download from the server faster. Help users remain patient. Placeholder images tell the user that images are on the way. A structure.com in IMG will default to a width and height of 0 until it fully loads. Having a placeholder will reduce page flicker jumps when images load. A pleasant user experience. Progressive image loading opens doors to animation and other transitions that can enhance the user experience. Reduce data and bandwidth costs. If progressive image techniques are coupled with lazy loading, images will only be downloaded from server when necessary, in example when IMG is in viewport. So it's a technique to smartly load the images of your application by demand, using small placeholders while the original image is being lazy loaded. When it finishes, do a sub-transition from placeholder to the original picture. This strategy makes the page load faster and using less resources as you load images with original size only after the first render and only what the images which the user can see at the moment is inside the navigator viewport. So first, meaningful pain. It's important to deliver something meaningful to the user as soon as possible. The longer they wait for the page to load, the bigger the chance they will leave before waiting for everything to finish. We should be able to show them at least the basic view of the page they want to see. With placeholders in the places, more content will eventually be loaded. This could be achieved by progressive loading, also known as lazy loading. It is all about deferring loading of as many resources as possible, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and only loading those immediately that are really needed for the very first experience. Bundling versus splitting. Many visitors won't go through every single page of a website, yet the usage approach is to bundle every feature we have into one big file. A bundle.js file can be many megabytes and a single style.css bundle can contain everything from basic CSS structure definitions to all the possible styles and every version of the site, mobile, tablet, desktop, print only, etc. It is faster to load all that information as one file rather than many small ones, but if the user doesn't need everything at the very beginning, we could load only what's crucial and then manage other resources when needed. Render blocking resources. Buffering is a problem because the browser has to load the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript before it can paint the render results onto the screen. During the few seconds between initial website access and completion of loading, the user sees a blank page, which is a bad experience. To fix that, we can, for example, add defer to JavaScript files. So we have this example right here that we just need to add defer on the script. So they will be downloaded and executed after the document itself has been parsed. So it won't block rendering the HTML structure. We can also split CSS files and add media tags to them. So we have these two lines, and the first portion has the style.css, and the second portion has the print CSS and also the media. This would tell the browser to load them only when the condition is met. We have an example called GS13KPAW. It's a demo app. Actually, I have included the link below. The CS is simple enough to leave it all in a single file with no specific rules as how to load them. We could go even further and move everything from style.css to the style tag in the head of index.html. This would improve performance even more, but for the readability of the example, we will skip that approach too as well. So I will show this page, so basically we can have this example. Images. Besides JavaScript and CSS, websites will likely contain a number of images. When you include IMG elements in your HTML, then every reference image will be fetched and downloaded during initial website access. It's not unusual to have megabytes of image data to download before announcing the site is ready, but this again creates a bad perception of performance. We don't need all of the images in the best possible quality at the very beginning of viewing the site. This can be optimized. First of all, you should use tools or services similar to TinyPNG, which will reduce the file size of your images without altering the quality too much. If you are past that point, then you can start thinking about optimizing the image loading using JavaScript. Placeholder image. Instead of having all the screenshots of cancer parents and IMG element as RC attributes, which will force the browser to download them automatically, we can do it selectively via JavaScript. An example of the GS13KPWA app uses a placeholder image instead, which is small and lightweight, while the final path to target images are stored in data as SRC attributes. So we have here the image and where the placeholder is, and the data as RC as we were explaining. Those images will be loaded via JavaScript after the site finishes building the HTML structure. The placeholder image is scaled the same way the original images are, so it will take up the same space and not cause the layout to paint as the image loads. Loading via JavaScript, the app.js file processes the data as RC attributes like so. So we have this example, so we have these attributes, especially for images to load and load images. So the images to load variable contains references to all the images, while the load images function moves the path from data as RC to SRC. When each image is actually loaded, we remove its data SRC attribute as not needed anymore. Then we loop through each image and load it. So we have basically the function as it shows here below. So blur in CSS. To make the whole process more visually appealing, the placeholder is blurred in CSS. We render the images with a blur at the beginning, so a transition to the sharp one can be achieved. So we have this article is basically we have the blur, and we have this auto filter and blur as well. So basically this is some attribute that we can use. This will remove the blur effect within half a second, which looks good enough for the loading effect. Loading and demand. The image loading mechanism discussed in the above section works okay. It loads the images after rendering of the HTML structure and applies a nice transition effect in the process. The problem is that it still loads all the images at once, even though the user will only see the first 2 or 3 upon page load. This problem can be solved within the new Intersection Observer API. Using this, we can ensure the images will be loaded only when they appear in the viewport. So what is Intersection Observer? This is a progressive enhancement to the previously working example. Intersection Observer will load targeted images only when the user scrolls down, causing them to display in the viewport. So here's what the relevant code looks like. So we have the Intersection Observer, and we can just review the images to load as well function, so we can have this effect. If the Intersection Observer object is supported, the app creates a new instance of it. The function passes as a parameter in handling the case when one or more items are intersecting with the observer. An example is appearing inside the viewport. We can iterate over each case and react accordingly. When an image is visible, we load the correct image and stop observing it, as we no longer need to observe it. Let's reiterate our earlier mention of progressive enhancement. The code is written so that the app will work whether Intersection Observer is supported or not. If it is not, we just load the images using the more basic approach covered earlier. So I will want to show some examples quick. And okay, so let me go ahead and review the how this example might work. So this is how we're gonna have this effect. As we can see right now, that we have this loading effect. As we can see the blurry, and then we have the sharp images. So we had these codes right here. We had the codes for HTML. We have progressive image, loading image in the background as well. So basically this is something that we can just review more information, and we'll also have the CSS as well. We have progressive image and basically how the information looks like, especially for our codes, and making more interesting as well our codes whenever we use this effect. So I would like to show the other one that we have right here. Just scroll off. So as you can see, just whenever we have this one, this is the example that we were checking the GS13K that I mentioned during our presentation, and we have this blur effect. As soon as we are downloading, scrolling down, we can see some blurry, and after we are just checking the information, it's showing the images as well. Okay, so I hope these examples might be okay for you. So improvements, remember that there are many ways to optimize loading times, and this example is exploring only one of the approaches. You could try to make your apps more bulletproof by making them work without JavaScript, either using non-script to show the image with final src already assigned, or by wrapping img tags with 8 elements pointing at the target images so the user can click and access them when desired. In the example for the app, we wouldn't do that because the app itself is dependent on JavaScript. Without it, the list of games wouldn't even be loaded, and the service worker wouldn't be executed. We could rewrite the loading process to load not only the images but the complete items consistent of field description and links. It would work like an infinite scroll, loading items on the list only when the user scrolls the page down. That way the initial HTML structure would be minimal, loading time even smaller, and we would have even greater performance benefits. So a conclusion, basically this fast will initially smaller files that split into models use the placeholders and loading more content on demand. This will help you achieve faster initial load